Hello guys and girls, Time Lords, aliens and companions of such nature. Welcome back really to this video. I haven't done a video for a while, so yeah, this is kind of weird getting back into it all, but yeah, I am the Nerd Vault, and I take a look at everything sci-fi. Mainly focused on Doctor Who these days, really. I do recall saying I was going to branch off to other things, but complications have happened, and well, that hasn't happened. So it's still Doctor Who at the moment, but only the future can tell us if anything different will happen, anything different will come of it. But today we're going to be taking a look at the modern era Sonics that I have in my collection, which, to be perfectly honest, isn't many. To be fair, probably not as much as most people in their collections, but it is still a fair bit anyway. So we're going to take a look at them. We've got two Sonic devices in the back that we're going to take a look at as well. And yeah, so let's get straight into it with, these should be in they're in the wrong place actually. There we go. So we'll take a look at this one first. Now this is the wide slider, used basically by Christopher Eccleston and David Tennant. It is a CT conversion. Couldn't tell you what CT it was before it was converted, but it's got the CT end cap there, and basically everything about it is CT. It's just been converted basically, so there you go there. And of course it has the iconic CT crackled channel with the red and black wires, which I've never got replaced because personally I think it adds to the weathering of the prop, as this is weathered to replicate the last time Tennant used it in Doomsday. So those paint scratches there are intentional, of course, for the weathering of this particular replica. But in light of LSP doing a fantastic job in making their wide slider, I thought, you know, everybody's showing off their wides, I might as well. And I mean, I am super jealous that I didn't jump to the gun with that one, but I'm perfectly happy with this one. This is a very good replica, close as I'm probably ever going to get to a wide slider. And the wide slider is, like it is for most people, my favourite RTD era Sonic. So yeah, basically. The blue strip there is like remnants of it left, but I believe towards the end of its life there was hardly anything left in there anyway. I might put one in one day though, just because, you know, not everything has to be weathered. Do you know what I mean? It would be nice to have a little bit more blue in there, but yeah. So obviously we've got the activation switch, which is a micro switch, which activates the lights. The battery's not the best on this one, but obviously, sadly, no sound. But it's quite a bright LED though. Still quite a very bright LED there, and of course you can do the extending while pressing the button as well. So yeah, there you go. That is the wide slider. Pretty awesome, to be fair, if you ask me. But yeah, it's probably, maybe I would say, my favourite one from the set of 10s that I have, which is only 3 of them. I've only got 3. The next one here is the tri-slided Aztec, also called the Intermediate back in the day, but we've been corrected in its name now. And as you can see, it's got more of a creamer colour, similar to the Cream Aztec as well. The thing I love about this one is the activation switch. It's more boxier, so it's more like a box shape, and it has 3 screws, which is why it's called the Tri-Slider. And pressing the screw activates the light. Of course, no sound again with this one, but again with another bright LED. Now, this isn't a One Company conversion. This is an I Make Things one, I think they're called, or Vitek Industries as they used to be called. So this is a Vitek Industries Sonic. It's a little undersized, and they really did rush, to be honest, with the end cap, because the end cap's hideous on this one. It's 3D printed, I believe, but there's loads of holes and stuff. And one of them, I think it's that one there, there's a chip there, so I really do need to get that replaced one day. Well, the whole Sonic really, and especially as well, the wire isn't coiled properly, which really does bug me, to be honest. But yeah, there's a yellow one in there, obviously, as it would be. But yeah, what I was saying is it's a similar dome to the One Company remotes, but it's not a One Company one. But yeah, there you go. So it's pretty cool. And of course, the Tri-Slider was used in the same episode with the Master, with the laser. So yeah, when I have the laser screwdriver, it would be nice to put this with it and display it with it, basically. So yeah, there's the Tri-Slider. One last little look there. Haven't done a video in 3 months, so this is very, very, very odd, but I thought I had to do one to talk about my favourite things, which are sonic screwdrivers. Now this one is a Roboto 10th Series 4, and this was actually held by David Tennant himself as well when we went to Telford Comic Con in Wales. Well, Telford isn't in Wales, but it was the Welsh Comic Con, which is stew on that for a while, if you will. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. I do admire Nick's work on these, and I am glad that I have one in my collection anyway. But yeah, this was actually held by David Tennant himself for a picture he took with me. So, and this does have sound as well. So observe. Very loud. But you can see the coil there. Nicely tied up, which is what I like and what it should be like there. And it's obviously the yellow one, as for some reason they later changed to yellow in the channels. I don't know why. They could have just kept it black and red, but they changed to yellow, so there we go. But yeah, fantastic crackling effect as well there on the Sonic by Nick. And of course, I am filming as well on my new iPhone 14 Pro Max, so hopefully the video quality is a little bit better than my other ones. Hopefully, we'll see. Before we go on to the other Sonics, we're going to take a look at the Sonic devices first, because they're in the Tennant era, really. So we've got the Sonic lipstick here, which was used by, of course, the great late Elizabeth Sladen, who obviously played the iconic Sarah Jane Smith. And she used this in her episode, in her TV show, and in a few of Tennant's episodes as well. So, oh, and I think the Matt Smith episode where he was in, well, it was her show, wasn't it? I don't know why I just said that. Of course she would use it in her show. Yeah, forget I said that. But yeah, so yeah, she used it in a few of Tennant's episodes as well. But this replica is absolutely fantastic, considering it's an Etsy purchase as well. A guy from Etsy had a bunch of Estee Lauder lipstick cases and decided to make Sonic lipsticks with them, and for the price they're very, very good. I can't remember, I think it was £160 or something like that. One of the cheapest replicas I've ever bought, but it's actually very, very well done. Very well done indeed. The button apparently is supposed to be like the toy, I've heard, but I prefer having the micro switch visible on my replicas because they actually look like proper replicas then. I briefly had the toy of this when I was younger, but then it got lost or broken or something. I was little then, so I didn't really appreciate them as much as I do now anyway. And obviously I love that toy. I thought it was a great toy. And when Liz passed away, I really just wanted something to remember her and remember her show and remember her as a character. And I'm so glad I've got this, and I really wish she was still here so I could actually get a photo with her holding it. I think that would have been fantastic. But alas, I just have the replica to remember her. And of course it does open. And I don't know if you can see it. I don't think it'll show. Probably won't, to be honest. Don't know if you can see it faintly in there. The Estee Lauder logo. If I shine a light through it, maybe you might be able to see it. Oh, there you go. There you are. The Estee Lauder logo inside. There, which is, of course, awesome. And then here is the actual replica. So it does open up like a proper lipstick. If I can get it into focus here. Should. There we go. So you can see there 3 lines resembling the classic era, in my opinion, of the Pertwee and Baker and Davison Sonics. Well, and evidently McCoy and McGann. I nearly forgot his name then. But yeah, you can see you got the red dome at the top there. Like I said, don't get me wrong, it's not 100% accurate, but it'll do me. This one does light up and make a sound as well. Two pitches. It makes 2 pitches of sounds as well. It's not the accurate sounds from the show, but it gives me classic era vibes, so that's good enough for me. But yeah, it's quite bright for a little tiny thing. But yeah, and of course it does fold in like a lipstick, and then obviously you just put the lid back on and there you go. Very sleek and very sort of hidden as well, until obviously one of your friends asks for a bit of it, and then you've got to explain. So yeah, but that's the Sonic lipstick. Moving on, we have, of course, the Sonic pen, which was a fantastic replica made by LSP. Obviously, I think it was Madman Props who originally thought of the idea to make it, and then he later joined LSP, and that's how LSP came to make it. But it's absolutely fantastic. It's used from the Accurate nylon, which is also used on the Tennant Sonics. And then aluminium for the silver bits that you see there. So it did come with a nib, which did work, but I took it out because I knew it wouldn't last long, and we never actually see, well, we see her writing, I think, with it, but when she's using it anyway, the pen is always tucked in. So there's a grub screw there, and then the activation button is there, as you can see, and it activates the light. And that's it in closed mode. We never got the toy in closed mode. The toy was moulded in open mode. But that is a very bright light there. much brighter than the Sonics. But of course, you slide the nib up, and you get, again, 3 lines. It's very reminiscent there. But you also get the cage assembly here. The kind of, it almost reminds me of the TARDIS lamp on top of the TARDIS, really, in a way. But you can see the LED in there, and it lights up, well, like the toy then. So yeah, there you go. It's pretty awesome. I think it looks more sleeker in closed mode personally, but that's just me. Still is an awesome replica to own, to be honest. But yeah, so there's the Sonic pen. I never had the toy for this one, but I always wanted it, but I just never got the release when it came out, and then it went really expensive, so I never bothered with it. But now I have the replica, I'm not too fussed. Well, I'm not fussed. But yeah, there you go. The awesome Sonic pen. So, back to Sonics then, I suppose. We have the Celestial Toy Store 11th Sonic, which the CT is a Sonic that you don't really see anymore. Nobody really posts things about it. A lot of people don't really like CT and his Sonics anymore, but I do. I love my CT 11th. The button is fantastic on there. Very nice swirls. I was incredibly lucky with this one. Some CTs don't have any swirls on the button, and some have too much. This is just the right amount there. Of course, I've got new emitters. And new cores as well. So they look more like the rubber toe cores rather than the CT cores. Oh, and that was one of the Sonics falling over. I'm just going to put the other lenses on so you can see those. That's it with the Cold War setting. The red, well, kind of orange really. Glow there. But that's the Cold War setting, which is pretty awesome. And then we have, which I don't believe was used much on this particular Sonic. I think it was more the 12th that I saw being used, but maybe Matt Smith did it a few times. But here is the torch mode, which is a very bright light. There, as you can see, it's almost like a grey, bluish silver kind of tint there. But yeah, so that is the lights, basically. I do have an orange one somewhere, and I tend to do the traffic lights with this Sonic. But yeah, so there you go, all the way down. The designs of these is incredible, with the cages, the knurling, the copper, the leather, and the use of resin as well. It's fantastic, really. That was terrible. That was a little bit better there, if you did see the flick anyway. I don't tend to like to to flick it, to be honest, but yeah, there you go. So that is the Celestial Toy Store 11th. This is a Sonic that was made completely by resin by my friend the Sonic Screwdriver Editor. And it has a light, features a light as well, quite a bright green one as well. So yeah, the accurate things here are the cores and the leather, basically. Everything else is obviously inaccurate because it's supposed to be metal, not resin. And I'm not normally a fan of resin props, but this one was, I mean, out of the bag, to be honest with you. It's very good. Very good indeed. I don't know if he's making any more, but if he is, I would definitely recommend one for your collection. If you don't have the original rubber toe one anyway. If you do, then, well, lucky you, is all I'm going to say there. But yeah, so there you go, Shark Eaten Sonic. Should I say Shark Eaten 11th. And then we have my favourite design overall, the Rubber Toe 12th Dr. Sonic Screwdriver. The absolute fantastic yet very crazy and wild design here. No doubt probably Capaldi had a design input into it, but I think Nick enjoyed making this one. The handle is very good. It makes for a very, very good sort of handle. And it's TARDIS blue as well, which is cool. And it has 5 slots there for the sound and lights. Well, the lights really. So yeah, there you go. It's the green setting. And then of course the favoured blue setting, which was probably used more so than the green. And then obviously this setting, which was probably used the most, which is my favourite setting of the 4. It's the chasing blue lights. Very cool. And then the other one, which hasn't been used, I can't really say I've seen this one, to be honest. Let me know if you have, and let me know what episode. But the pulsating green setting, I actually haven't seen really. But it's still cool, nonetheless. So, yeah, there you go. Cool. I've heard from sources that Shooty, the 14th Doctor, or apparently, according to the rumours, it's going to be the 15th Doctor, which of course we all know, and David Tennant's going to be the 14th Doctor apparently, but we all know that that's not true because of the War Doctor. So technically it would actually be Jodie's the 14th, Tennant's the 15th, and Shooty will be the 16th Doctor, kind of thing. It's very complicated, isn't it, really? But as the end of an era dawns, we do have, of course, the Rubber Toe 13th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver. And you know what? Most people hate it, but I absolutely love it. To be fair, the replica anyway. Not the design or the toy version, but the replica. I mean, it looks like a volcano, doesn't it? I mean, it's fantastic. The craftsmanship that went into, that goes into all of these Sonics really, is absolutely fantastic. But this one is absolutely amazing. And yeah, it's just truly brilliant. And I absolutely love what Nick's done with this one. Especially with that spinning emitter, the slow one with the glow and the fast one without the glow. It's just absolutely fantastic. You know, such a cool sort of take on the Sonic, really. And I love the crystal emitter. I love how it lights up around the whole Sonic and comes alive, and that colour as well is fantastic. Obviously not the brightest of Sonics in the light, but I mean that still showed up quite well, and there is a lot of light in here, but in the dark it would be a great torch. And because there's no sound to this one either, you could basically use this as a torch as well. So yeah, that is the 13th Doctor Sonic, and of course an icon now, really, considering that Nick's discontinued the 13th Doctor Sonic due to, well, he hates building them. So unless LSP attempt to make them, which I don't know if they're gonna, if they are, then great, good luck to them. If they're not, then that replica there is probably going to be the rarest one in my collection, because you're not going to be able to get another one. And I honestly, there's a lot of people I spoke to that have literally regretted not buying one from Nick, and I'm really glad I did. I had an epiphany, you see. I had a vision, if you like, that one day Nick would stop making them, and I kind of knew, if I don't get one, if I don't place my order, I'm never going to get one, and it's never going to be in the collection. And I've got 9, I've got a 10th, because I class the wide slider as the 9th Doctor's, really, because he used it first. But anyway, so I have a 9th, I have a 10th, I've got an 11th, and I've got a 12th. I really needed a 13, to be honest, to complete the collection of at least, I mean, I know there's loads of variants, but to have just one from each Doctor in the modern era would be fantastic for me, personally, anyway. It's a small feat, but it's something that I'm proud of, personally. And if there are people out there that are like, well, I have all the variants and I have every single one of every single Doctor, great for you, good for you, I'm happy for you. But for me, personally, to have one of each Doctor, the 9th Doctors, the 10th Doctors, the 11th Doctors, the 12th Doctors, and of course 13th Doctors. I'm happy with that, to be honest. That's an accomplishment to me, and of course in a few months, hopefully, possibly January, February time, I'd imagine. Although knowing Nick, probably longer. I will have the laser as well, which is my all-time favourite prop of anything, out of any Sonic, out of any show, really. It's my favourite thing in the whole wide world. So I'll be having that soon, and I will be getting another laser soon as well from Gene. So Gene's is going to be the Series 3 style laser, and then obviously Nick's is basing his off the Series 10 version. There are a few subtle differences, hopefully ones I can compare in the comparison video, as and when that will be. I have no idea when it will be, but it will be soon. But I can't wait to review that one, and I can't wait to have that in the collection. I do feel like I probably won't be having many more after that, though. I think replica collecting is very expensive. I'm lucky enough to have the ones I've got here in front of you, and the classic era ones as well. To be honest with you, I didn't think I'd get this far. I've been only collecting now for about 3 or 4 years, and I didn't think I'd get this far to have these, let alone bloody 3 RTD era ones. I was only ever planning to have one. So, you know, never thought I'd get a CT, but then I would, to be honest, I would never have parted ways with my V2 if I didn't have a CT. So I would have had an 11th either way. It just so happens that I've got the CT. But I never thought I'd have a CT, to be honest. And I have 2 technically, because of this. This actually is a CT. It is a Celestial Toy Store 10th. I do believe it was the big button Series 1 and 2 Sonic, I think. Only because the emitter looks like it matches that, basically. that one. But again, I could be wrong. But that is technically a CT 10th. And then I have a CT 11th there. So I'm happy. I've got the Sonic Lipstick, which is my third favourite replica of all time. And I have the Sonic Pen, which is my second favourite replica of all time. The first, obviously, being the laser. So I will have my top 3. And then 4, probably after that, is the wide slider. So I've got my top 4. My 5th would be to have a metal Judoon scanner. But that's very unlikely at this present time to have that. But I, of course, got all of my... It's having trouble focusing here. Hold on. I will have all of my favourites, basically, in the end anyway. And that's all that matters to me. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm glad to do another one. I'm glad to be back as well. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it, as I always do. And I'll see you in the next video. Which one should we use? I think we'll use Whittaker's, considering it's very poetic, I suppose, since she left quite recently. So remember, guys, keep sonicking.